Pouring Colorado is big business. The beer industry in our state generated more than $2.4 billion last year, including the money made from beer and the salaries paid by beer. More than 17,000 people work in the industry statewide. That's tens of thousands of people who had their lives turned upside down and their livelihoods threatened when the pandemic brought operations to a standstill.
That was a scary time for sure. Today, 9 News reporter John Glasgow takes a look at Colorado's beer industry and how it's preserved through the pandemic.
More than a decade in business.
Yeah, we just celebrated our 11th anniversary. It was really fun.
Denver Beer Company's co-founder Patrick Crawford has a lot to celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, we're still moving forward with our opening up a tap room in the Lowry neighborhood. We're still pursuing new opportunities.
Opportunities nearly sidelined.
It was terrifying, for sure.
By the COVID-19 pandemic.
In the beginning of the pandemic, those were some stressful, sleepless nights. I mean, honestly, there were moments when we were thinking that everything we had been working on for the last 8 years was going to just evaporate.
They weren't alone. It was a fear they shared with other Colorado craft brewers.
I think in 2020, brewers were afraid primarily just of demand. Were people going to be able to buy their beer, and could they buy their beer?
A Brewers Association survey at the beginning of the pandemic found more than 63% of craft breweries feared that they wouldn't last more than 3 months.
Amazingly, we saw remarkably few closures during the pandemic.
Bart Watson is the chief economist for the Brewers Association.
I think now many of the fears are more nuts and bolts business fears.
Those business fears are holdovers from the pandemic, like material shortages and supply chain issues.
It was like a 1-2 punch. We couldn't get cans, so we've had to scramble. We've had to buy cans from Canada. We've had to buy a bunch of tractor trailers in the parking lot to store materials.
Issues affecting their bottom line.
That has increased our costs. It's made it more expensive for us to do business.
And the price you pay.
We did a solid price increase at the beginning of this year that got us up to where we can do business now in this new environment.
Now as we move away from the pandemic.
You know, we're very lucky that we're able to maintain a healthy business.
Crawford keeps moving forward.
It's really fun to walk into this brewery every day and try to figure out the challenges that we have here too.
John Glasgow, 9 News.
Yeah, at the end of 2021, Colorado had 428 breweries, the 5th most in the country. Some have since opened, others have since closed.
Watson believes our state's total number of breweries is going to start leveling off if it hasn't already. And 5th in the nation, Colorado is a leading market, and he says markets can only grow so much.